YouTube. We'll wait until it goes over into this one as well.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Weymouth Town Council Planning and Licensing meeting tonight here on Tuesday the 29th of April. I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Tufnell for coming in, and they'll be talking on a planning issue in a short while. We'll go straight into item 1, which is apologies for absence. Apologies have been received from Councillor Clifford, who will be substituted by Councillor Day. We have no further apologies, and we could go straight to, I'll propose, Councillor Dickens will second. All those in favour of accepting the substitution? That's unanimous. Are there any declarations of interest regarding any items on the agenda? And should you come across one as you're going, please speak out. Minutes of the last meeting, they've been circulated, and to approve the minutes of the last meeting held on the 1st of April 2025. And I'll propose, seconded by Councillor Ralph. All those in favour? Any abstentions? We come now to public participation, but if with the committee's permission, I'll go straight into item 5, which is planning applications for discussion, and I'll ask Mr. and Mrs. Tufnell if they wouldn't mind giving us a talk, because they would like to talk on 46 St David's Road.
Will you come to the front or stand up here?
You can come to the front, wherever you feel most comfortable.
Will be turning around everyone?
Yeah, they will.
No, that's I sit at the front desk. You know what the normal protocol is.
You'll wear the mayor's chains.
Yeah.
You're on the go.
It's not special seats. Oh, sit down, if that's okay. Right, yes, so thank you to the committee for allowing us to speak in respect of this planning application. Together with the adjacent neighbouring properties that bound the site, we seek to raise several concerns in respect of this revised application. The amended proposal still remains deficient against many of the Dorset Council planning policies and has not addressed the comments made by the planning officer on the previous applications. Proposed dwelling has a steeply raking hipped roof with an overall height of 6+ metres and now stands less than 2 metres from our garden boundary, where it will loom large and create a massing effect for us along a substantial section of the current unobstructed boundary. This would enclose and create an undesirable claustrophobic effect on our property, with a loss of outlook and subsequent overshadowing of the garden. Within the northeast elevation, the ground floor windows serving habitable rooms still look directly onto a boundary fence with no outlook for the future occupiers. The close relationship of the proposal to our boundary would also exacerbate the potential for noise disturbance. The southeast, which is the right side elevation, incorporates a set of French doors which provide the primary outlook from the sitting room and a window which serves bedroom 3. These are within 4 metres of the site's boundary fence, providing a poor outlook to these rooms. The layout provides an amenity space of only 6 by 4.5 metres, which is well below the garden areas of the adjacent properties, inappropriate for a 3-bedroom dwelling, and well below the minimum depth recommended in the local authority sustainable development planning guidelines. The application now proposes 2 parking spaces, reduced from 3, that do not allow easy access. This now creates a cramped up effect to the frontage to the detriment of the visual amenity of the street. The property is too large for the site, and it is not possible to balance the necessary requirements for development, car parking, amenity space, and the protection of neighbouring amenity and outlook, and represents an overdevelopment of the site. The site has been allowed by the current owners applicants to fall into a state of dereliction, presumably to enhance the opportunity for planning development. The applicant did not seek any pre-application advice from the planning department, nor made contact with us or any of the adjacent properties to discuss the proposal. We have sought the opinion of the local Dorset County councillors and Weymouth Town councillor, who have all expressed the same view, that the proposed development has a severe impact on the neighbouring properties and is an overdevelopment of the site. We have raised these comments along with similar statements from the residents of numbers 48 and 26 Rylands Lane. Sorry, 48 St David's Road and 26 Rylands Lane, who have very similar concerns for this development on the County Council's planning portal. The planning officer has allowed a revision to this application, which has triggered the obligation for an additional public consultation. It must be noted that the revision of an undetermined scheme that has a relocation of the footprint or one which triggers a fresh 21-day consultation is in breach of the procedure stated in the Dorset Council Development Management Guidance Note. There are also other various lapses in the validation process, which, together with this breach, should render the initial and revised applications invalid. We object to the development submitted in this application. This scheme fails to satisfy policies ENV2, ENV10, ENV11, ENV12 and ENV16 of the West Dorset Waves and Portland Local Plan and Section 12 of the National Policy Planning Framework and should be refused. We are not against the principle of development of the site and would welcome discussions with the applicants and the planning officer to determine a sympathetic and suitable development. We thank the committee for allowing us to make these comments.
Thank you very much indeed, Ms. Loughnane. Right, because we're going straight into item 5. Steve, would you like to?
Well, I mean, basically he said everything like last time and it's
Yeah.
all been said. So it'd just be repeating what this gentleman said.
Tim?
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question? Has anything significantly changed? We objected to this, I seem to remember, on grounds of overdevelopment. So we sent it back to the developer to come back with a revised plan. Has anything substantially changed?
Well, this is my note really. The applicant is not entitled to revise the planning application, so that's in breach of their own policy, but the change they put in is merely to move it from an undetermined distance mile boundary, which appears to be 3 feet in old money, to less than 6 feet in old money. So all they've done is move the same development closer to Rylands Lane, you know the area, and that's all they've done. But as I said, they're not entitled to make that revision. The planning officer should not allow it to happen, but that's probably a separate matter.
Okay, my logic says that isn't really a significant change in
No,
the plan.
no.
And if we objected before on the grounds of overdevelopment, exactly the same grounds are still there. So I suggest that we should object again.
The material planning reasons are ENV 12, 10, sorry, 10, ENV 2, 10, 11, 12, 16, and section 12 of the NPPF.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't know about the not being allowed to put it in. Didn't know that.
That's the key issue that renders the whole application technically invalid.
Right.
So the planning officers allowed this revision to occur. I mean, I've done myself for the planning application, so I know exactly how it works. But notwithstanding that, it's a case of,
Yeah.
as it triggered the 21-day consultation, that's why it's come back to yourselves and gone out to the councillors again, all the rest of them gone back to the neighbours. The fact it's triggered that consultation means it has to be reconsidered. But what I'm saying is, if the application triggers that consultation period, it's not allowed under their own rules, it's under their own policy. And it's about another 8 points, but that's one, and moving it, obviously moving the footprint as well as another one.
Right, would any other committee members like to talk on it? No? So
I propose.
you propose that we, you
Object.
object on the grounds of ENV 2, 10, 11, 12, 16 and section 12 of the NPM. Is that,
That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah, I'll second that.
seconded by councillor Young? All those in favour? Any abstentions? One abstention. Well, thank you very much. Mr.
Okay, thank you all, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're quite welcome to stay.
I dare say this application will come up again.
I expect so, I expect so.
Oh, that's the 4th of 10th.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for your time.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pre-application advice, yes, that'd be right.
Right, Nikki?
Yeah.
Yep. We now move on to, in item 5 is the pavilion complex, which councillor Rell wishes to talk about.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, in my ward, it's obviously a fairly major, prominent site So if they would want to say something.
Yeah, thank you.
Same as some of the previous arguments, if we don't say anything, our response may be taken as lacking enthusiasm. So
Yeah.
I'd like to positively back this one. We need to support the pavilion, and so I back it on the grounds of economic development and employment.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
Yeah, we used the phrase last week, which I thought was something about economic development within the town. It supports the economic development within the town.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the keeping. So
Yeah.
on those two grounds, I propose that we.
So it's proposed, would anybody else like to speak?
Yeah, I'd just say that, yeah, I agree with councillor O'Reilly. I think it's a fantastic resource for the town. It did seem to have fallen into, bit of a poor state a few years ago, but it's really picked up. There's a lot
Yeah.
more going on there now, and it's something we should really support.
Yeah.
And basically anything that, you know, improves the building and everything, we should support.
So we have a proposal,
Second it.
seconded, no, proposed by councillor Earl, seconded by councillor Furman.
Yeah.
All those in favour? Yeah. We now come to, we've done St David's. What was it, 4 planning applications received prior to agenda dispatch. And members are therefore asked to decide whether a comment is required or if the applications can be added to en bloc vote in item 6. And that's 30 Amanda Avenue, Manor Cottage, 1516 Trinity Road. Would anybody like to? Yeah, so I'll propose that we move these 4 applications into item 6, seconded by councillor Young. All those in favour? And that's unanimous. We can now move into item 6, and before we vote on it, would anybody like to bring up any of the items that are in item 6, which are down for no objection? No? No? Not even the removal of the payphone, John? Which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to object to that. Okay then, so I'll propose that we put in our standard response. Yeah, I'll propose it, seconded by councillor Taylor. All those in favour? Thank you very much, committee, that's unanimous. We now move on to item 7, which is the tree preservation orders. Would anybody like, this is, we don't vote on this, it's just.
Yeah, this is a new tree
Yeah.
preservation order, so it's
Yeah.
not one that's been made, it's a new one that's coming in, so we can make a representation should we wish to.
Okay. But if we don't? No,
No, we don't have to make. a
no,
comment.
you don't have to make a comment. Okay,
No, no
right,
comments.
that's it. We can now move on to item 8, which is again, reducing trees.
Yeah, so these are trees that already have TPOs
Yes,
on
on
them, where some works are required or fed.
But would anybody like to comment on that?
And obviously, this is under delegated powers, so we've already submitted our standard comment.
No? Right, we can now move on to item 9. Which is license enforcement appeals and phone masts. A variation of premises license. This is our own planning application for the Radipole Park and Gardens. And this is where there's no sort of change to the licensing or anything. They just want to put more tables out.
Yeah, they want to extend the area
Yeah.
to cover where the new cafe is.
Because they're. And so, has anybody got a representation that they would like to make? Or, you know, it's going quite well.
Only a positive one that
Yeah.
seems like a good
Yeah.
thing. You can support.
I propose we agree that.
Sorry?
I propose that we agree that.
Yeah,
Second.
Yeah.
Is that required?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And we follow it, they do that.
So the positive, what would you like to say that we were pleased with the success of the cafe in the new Radipole Gardens, and we see it going from strength to strength. And therefore we fully support this application. Yeah,
I don't think the application's been made by the cafe.
no.
It's been made by the council just to extend the area.
So what's the proposal? So Steve can check it.
You said that you're pleased with the success of New Cafe and wish it all the best for the future.
Perfect.
So it's proposed by councillor Dickens, seconded by councillor Furman. All those in favour? Thank you very much, team. That's unanimous. We now come to 61 Oldcastle Road, which they are appealing to the Secretary of State against refusal by Dorset Council. And we're asked to consider information detailed within it and decide whether or not the committee wishes for Weymouth Town Council's original representation to be withdrawn.
Yeah, so as this is being proceeding under the Householder Appeals Service, there's no opportunity for the town council to submit any comments, but we are able to withdraw our original comments.
And our original comment was,
Bear with me, scroll
Yeah.
down. Considered at the Planning and Licensing Advisory Committee on the 3rd of December 2024. At that time, council standard response of Weymouth Town Council supports the application and raises no objection was submitted.
Yep.
Would
anybody like to change that? No?
No.
I'd just say, if I may, I was really surprised to see this. I remember discussing this, we had no objection.
Yeah.
So why Dorset have changed this is beyond me.
The planning decision is detailed within the agenda, so you can see their reasoning for it.
We don't need to vote on that, do we?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we do. So, proposed by myself, seconded by councillor Rell,
Hang on, could I just clarify what are we voting?
that we don't change we don't
Yeah.
change, we keep it the same.
Don't want to get the logic.
Yeah. Yeah, so we support the application.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that will just, that's already been sent to the
So-
planning inspector, so it will just stay
stay the
there.
same.
I don't need to contact them.
No. All those in favour? That is unanimous. We now come on to 7 Hartlebury Terrace,
Another appeal? Whoops.
which is another appeal. So,
And again, it's proceeding under the householder process. Bear with me. We submitted our standard response again for this one. Weymouth Town Council supports the application and raises no objection. And the agenda does detail the planning decision issued by Dorset Council.
anybody like to make any comments on this one?
And again, the only option we have is to withdraw our comment. We can't make any new comments.
So do we stick with our original? That we support the application and raising no objection?
Yes.
You proposing that, John?
Yeah, proposed by councillor Rowell, seconded by councillor Furman. All those in favour? Any against? Any abstentions? One abstention. We come to, on top, item 10 now, haven't we?
Traffic calming and parking restrictions, item took 12, I understand.
Yeah, we can now move straight on to item 12, traffic calming and parking restrictions. This is a request that's been made by members of the public, supported by councillor Northern. Is it supported by you? Yeah,
Yeah.
supported by councillor Day
Yeah, and myself, this is
and councillor Young.
very near.
Yeah.
Okay, supported by all 3 ward councillors.
Yeah. You can see from the pictures,
Oh,
the parking. But I have a feeling, I think that if the Dorset Council will say that's a police matter,
They will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's across a Bell junction.
yeah. My only comment would be, if they put double yellow lines there and it's all those people actually living there, you're gonna make, are you gonna make the situation worse?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I mean, it's only on the corners that
Yeah.
is the problem there.
yeah. And then you just have to wait to see what the scoring is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Councillor Furman.
Thank you, Chair. I think it's not uncommon across the town, is it? No. Every single street is like this. Parking is at a premium, and I think. Yeah, that, what you're saying about those double yellow lines there, are you sort of marginalising the residents that are there rather than?
I mean, there is unsympathetic parking,
Absolutely. There's some good examples of that there.
Yeah.
you know, but,
And what is, may I ask other members questions?
Yes, certainly.
So is this near anyone?
This is very near to me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
would
The
you
other
mind
side
just,
is
Tim, is there off-road parking available
Oh,
there
well,
at all?
there's on-road parking, but that's not the issue, because that's fine. It's people parking on the corners and things.
No, I appreciate it, but I'm just trying to get a sense of
Yeah.
of the environment there. Are there houses with off-road parking and then,
Most of the houses haven't got.
so all of those residents are looking to
Yeah.
park on the roadside?
Some of them have got
Yeah.
parking, haven't they?
Yeah, there's some of them, can't remember which road. it is.
So completely,
Some of
I
them.
completely, sympathise, empathise
Yeah.
with them
Yeah,
for that. However, it's
yeah,
a national problem. It's not a,
yeah.
it's not a,
Drop it there.
Regency Close problem.
Yeah.
As
This
you
is
said,
what
I
you've
think
got.
this is a police matter. There are rules about parking on.
There are,
That, I
yeah.
mean, that white car is definitely
So-
breaking
so-
the law.
Yes.
Here is the Littlemore Road.
Yeah.
You come off of Littlemore Road and this is Regency Drive.
I mean, if the council could afford it, it'd be nice if they could put off-road parking between the trees and things.
Yeah.
So that people could
Like a-
park, but
Yeah.
I can't see,
Drop-in parking,
you know, I don't think the council would give the money.
I think the issue as well is it's all right putting the double yellows down.
But who's gonna police it?
Exactly.
The police don't police it
They just-
anyway.
Council do it once a year,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
and that's if
I think it's
residents-
important we support the residents.
Yeah, allow it to go through.
Yeah,
Yeah, let the process happen.
yeah,
Could we word it quite strongly so our view is clear?
yeah.
I mean, I can't see, you cannot put yellow lines down the road. That's, the residents need that, and I can't even think of an example where there are yellow lines just on the corner anywhere. Oh, I don't think of anywhere, I mean, it doesn't happen, does it? Because it's covered by the law anyway about.
They're more likely to put a white band round there, aren't they? But I said they won't do that. But
So we support the residents in this application. Weymouth Town Council supports the residents in this application. And we'll forward it on in the usual way.
Yeah, so, you
So
know,
would you like to propose it, Bev?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bev. Sorry, councillor Day,
I'll say.
seconded by councillor Young.
so it's literally, we're agreeing for it to be sent up to Dorset Council for assessment and
Yeah.
scoring.
So all those in favour? Oh, that's unanimous. We now come on to,
There is an item 13, I
Yeah.
believe.
this is to do with the old market car park in Dorchester, isn't it?
No,
No?
that bit, it doesn't apply to us.
Oh, right.
It does cover the old market car park in
Yeah.
Dorchester, but that part doesn't apply to us. It's the modification to Article 10 within Part B of the consolidation order that affects all Dorset Council car parks. So,
Appendix C.
Point 10.
Yeah.
Now. Just bear with me.
All right.
Amendment 4, did it say?
Just comes up with appendix C.
Back a page. I think it's that one.
Number 4.
Article 10, so it's all around the prohibition of sales.
Comment on it.
Yeah, just agree, any observations if you have any?
Nobody? No.
Not clear what the modification is.
Okay, we're only concerned with part B, item 10. That's it.
I think it's just the buying and selling of products.
Oh,
yeah.
In that space.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
I think what it might be around is on market day when they've got car boot there, I don't know if people are in the car park trying to sell stuff at the same time. And
Yeah.
that's not what it's designed, Dorchester market isn't, or car boot, etc. market is not designed for that. They have that's specific undercover area, don't they?
Well, they have, it spills out into the car park.
I beg your pardon?
It spills into the car park.
It does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, in a lot of it, there's nowhere near enough room for that. Car
Yeah.
park in-
Yeah, well, I wonder if,
Having got rid of quite.
because this would go against that, doesn't it?
yeah,
No person should use a vehicle whilst in the parking place in connection with the sale or hire of any article.
but has anybody got anything specific they would like us to stand up to? I haven't personally. I mean, this is the normal sort of thing. So, no comments?
I don't think there's anything in that wording that will be a problem for the car boot.
No.
And you've got the get out clause of except as authorised.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
no comments to make then.
No
Okay.
comments for me. We now go to item 14. And this is all information items. Would anybody like to speak up on any? The North Quay Highway improvement?
Yeah, that's just for information at the moment.
I don't know if any of you have seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good, but this is just tentative at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, no, they want it to go through. I'm sure Matt Piles wants it to go through.
But they haven't yet started the consultation,
Yeah,
that'll come
Right,
later.
yeah, so it's a long way to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't met the ward members yet. We've got a meeting booked in, so it flows into just my ward at the end there.
Right.
So we've got to have a meeting first with officers.
I mean, this plan was put up about 6 years ago, wasn't it, Jim?
Yeah, a long time coming.
And this is that, then the building wasn't allowed to be knocked down and then it got put back and put back. Then it was agreed and then it's been put back again. But it should be good when it's finally done, I think. But and this is again, it's only we don't have to send a comment. on it.
Not at the moment, no.
So it's just an
Consultation will come
information.
Later.
Any neighbourhood plan update, John?
No, it's all up to Dorset
Yeah.
Council at the moment, so.
Yeah. Well, we have no emergency items, so thank you very much indeed, committee.
Thank you, Chair.
Cheers, Alex. See you soon.